Hello, okay, this is Kim Dushinsky. We're going to do a demo of the WPtouch free WordPress plugin that will show you how to mobilize your blog. So this is for if you primarily have a WordPress site that is a chronological blog. This is when you would want to be using this version. This is also a good solution for if you just need to get started, get something moving, that at least you have done something in mobile, and then you can always do something more robust or comprehensive later, but this is definitely a good start. Plus the price is right. So the WPtouch free plugin is what we're going to be going through in this demo. Now, I'm not going to cover absolutely everything you can possibly do with WPtouch free, but I'm going to cover the highlights of things, make sure you can get it functional. You'll notice that this entire demo took me about 2 hours to do, but that was including building the slides. So this really is pretty quick. The actual work of doing it was very quick. So you know you're not in for a huge scenario of time. So this is the before picture. What I'm going to be showing you is mobilizing the Moby Blueprint blog. And just so you know, the URL for this is mobyblueprint.com/blog. It's not on the main domain. So if you go to mobyblueprint.com, you will not be able to see this live. So go to mobyblueprint.com/blog if you want to see this. So this is the before. An unmobilized site, hard to read. Looks the same, but this is a chronological blog, so it's a good one for an example. You should already know how to install plugins, but I'm just going to give you a real quick way to find this plugin. You go to the Install Plugins, Add New, and then I just do a search for WPtouch Mobile. Now notice that it will bring up several. It's not going to just pop you up one. Don't be distracted. Just go for the one that says WPtouch. Just scroll down until you find it. It is created by Brave New Code. That's how you'll know that you're in that it's the right one. It's a Brave New Code, and it is that plugin. Go ahead and install it and activate it. And then this is where your settings are. It's under Settings, and then WPtouch is where you find all of everything. There is one panel that you will use. Everything that I'm going to show you comes off of this one screen. So it's all just goes down the page, but we're going to take it chunk by chunk. So this is what you're going to see when you go into the Settings, WPtouch. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is you'll notice there at the top, language, unless you're doing anything with language, just leave it as it is. There is a chance to have a home page redirection. So you can create a home page that will show up on mobile as your WPtouch home page. In this example, I'm going to just go ahead and show the blog post because this is a blog, a chronological blog site. So I'm going to just make it as simple as possible, but you can do that. Now on the blog, because we have the logo showing as the header, it wasn't showing the Moby Blueprint blog as on the top. So in order to get that text to show up, this is where you put it here in the site title. Because I have it turned off on the full size site, it's showing the header instead of the title. So you can type that in and it will show up there. Here is where you could exclude categories and tags. So if there's some sort of category of posts that you don't want to show, you can exclude them here. Then further down the page, this is where you show the post. So you'll notice, okay, so let's go back for a second. You'll notice here that the images, the phone and the QR code and such, show up here as thumbnail images on the post, and I really like that. I think it's a good idea. So what you do is under here, the post listing options, you choose, it's a pull down menu, and you choose post thumbnails feature. Now when I did this, some of mine didn't show up. I think because I had this, some of them were from a previous version of WordPress that didn't have thumbnails built in. So if that happens to you, there's another plugin that you can add, the Easy Add Thumbnail, and it will sort of go back and reassign the first image that you uploaded with the post as the thumbnail. So it's a pretty cool little plugin. It worked really great. So you can always add that if your thumbnails are not showing up correctly. Now the way I like to do this when I'm building a site is I just go through and I adjust a few things and then I save it, and then I have my phone handy and I take a look what happened, what am I creating, and I think that's a really good way to do this. So then as you go down the page, you'll see there's advanced options is the next category. Pretty much this is the way that it's set up. There's two things I want you to make sure you pay attention to on this page. The allow zooming on content is not checked, and I think you should check it. I think that's a good idea because you never know if people want to zoom in on something. So go ahead and check that, and then make sure you do not check the first time mobile visitors see the desktop theme. That completely defeats the purpose of mobilizing your site. The first time they come there, they see the desktop. No, not a good idea. Let them get the mobile version. On this site at the very bottom, they can turn the mobile theme off with a click. So just leave that unchecked. Very important. Push notifications. This is one of the things I'm really not going to go through with you. I don't necessarily feel like websites should have push notifications, just my personal preference, so I'm not going to really go through this. Plus, they're only for iPhones, so I'm not big on things that really only work for a particular phone. The style and color options, I'm going to leave this completely up to you. This is where you can change some of your background, some of the design of it. You can put in the colors that will match your site to make it look more the same, more seamless. So that's something that you can certainly figure out and create your own colors. If you're doing any advertising on your site, let's say your site is one that you are monetizing with advertising through content, you can continue that on your mobile version by putting in your AdSense information here. And you can also do some other things as well. So this is where if you're doing advertising, you can do that. So we're not going to really go into that, but I want you to see these because they are on that page in that order, and they may be something that's applicable to you. And they're pretty straightforward. There's really not much you need to if you're doing advertising, this makes sense to you. You know what I'm talking about. All right, so now here's the next part of this. So everything up until now has been about posts. This is where you can actually get your logo icon that will show up on the top there on the page. And this is also where you will see these are the icons that you can use to match up to your pages, and you can add custom ones. So these ones are built in, but if you have other icons that you want to use for your pages, I'll show you where they show up in just a second. But if you want to add other icons, the key is to have 59 by 60 in size PNG files, and this is where you go ahead and upload them. I went ahead and uploaded the Mobi Blueprint logo. I grabbed just a section of it to be the icon, and I hit upload. Now I got this error message over here on the side. I'm not sure what it was meaning, but the file was saved and it was added correctly, and so I kind of just ignore it. That's kind of the way I do it. If the error doesn't cause anything bad to happen, I just press on. So if you see that error as well, but it uploads fine, then you'll be okay. So that's where I loaded that logo up. Now let's see how you make it show up. A little bit further down, then you see the logo icon, menu items, and page icons. Now this is on the site, on the WPtouch, the way that you can access navigation on the mobile site is by clicking on this little arrow over here to the right. So I don't think you see my thing, but you see where it says Mobi Blueprint blog, and then over to the site there's a little triangle facing up. That's because I clicked it already. It's usually facing down. When you click that, that is essentially the navigation. Now that's one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of the WPtouch free, because that navigation doesn't seem obvious to me. But anyway, that's where it is. And when you click that, you'll see that these are pages that show up automatically, and it will create it as the home icon. And then this is where all of these icons you can make show up for various pages. Okay, so in order to make the Mobi Blueprint blog, that logo show up next to the words Mobi Blueprint blog, I had to choose it from this menu here. So the one I uploaded, I picked the same name on this pull down menu, and then that is what makes it be the logo and home screen icon. So that's how you make that show up. Then down below, you'll notice here there's pages and icons. So this is a way for you to make other pages show up on this pull down menu. And you'll notice that there's just a couple of pages here that are listed, the mobile mini course and the FAQ. So I'm going to make the FAQ page show up here on this pull down by clicking it. So I check mark that, and now it will show up there. And then you pull down over here in the pull down, these are the list of icons. So up above, you can't see it because it's cut off, but there's a to-do icon that's a little check mark, and so I pick it. So you can choose whatever icon you want to go with your pages, and that's where it will show up. And this is what it looks like. So this is the before I had the page show up, and then after. So that little check mark shows up, and then my page is showing up there. So this is a little different. This version of WPtouch will actually let you show just specific pages. So that is a feature that wasn't in when I made my first set of slides talking about your options of which one to choose, and now it is there. So it does make this a little bit more robust in terms of what's available. Okay, so that's it. It's pretty simple. You see that? It's just one page, a few things to select, a few things to do, and off you go. This is the after picture. So you can see that now if you go to mobiblueprint.com/blog on your mobile device, this is the mobile version that you'll see, and it is now mobilized and ready to go. So if you do this on your blog, you have now mobilized your WordPress blog, or at least taken the first step anyway. I think it's a really good idea that you make sure if there's any reason you need a more robust site or a more robust mobilization of your site, you can use some of the other themes and information that other options, but you may not. This may be perfectly fine. You may be great, ready to go, and it's pretty simple. I do want you to keep going in this course, though. Be sure to check out the options for integrating text messaging with your site, and also how to use QR codes to drive traffic and build your list.